just share my screen. So can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for this one, I guess you can choose an available picture in the internet right now. But if you would like to, stick with this picture, you can use a snipping tool. Okay. And then for your background, just make it gray. Okay. And then the rest should be the same. Okay. Well, except for this one. You should write your name right here. So program by and then your name. Okay. And for the lab number 8, so for this one, you should get this one, okay? This exact picture right here for for the series. And then for the same with the parallel, you should get this one. And then the same with the combination, okay? You should also get this one. And for the background picture, the one that is like a toro, okay, like this. Uh, you will not be able to get this one anymore, even though you will use the snipping tool because it's being covered by the components. So I would like you guys to search any related background picture. Just type circuit analysis, circuit or circuit background. That will do. Then you can choose any of available pictures right here. Okay. So as long as it's related, you should not put any unrelated like maybe anime pictures, your picture, or any other unrelated. Okay. So what's important is it's related with the program itself. Okay, and then the rest are already the same. So the same with this one. So program by and then your name. Okay. So any other concerns before we uh, continue? I mean, not continue. Start with module 8. Okay, so if none, just give me a thumbs up so that I know that you guys don't have a question anymore. Okay, great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, good. So at least half of you doesn't have a question anymore. Well, for the others, I hope you guys don't have a question too. So 8 out of 17. All right. So I just would like to uh, mention this one, okay? Because in last meeting, I wasn't able to mention that the layout should be something like this. So you can only choose one radio button per pizza. Like for example, in Supreme, I can only order one size. So if it's personal, then I can choose personal. However, okay, let's create a new one. Windows Forms up. Okay, sample test. So any name will do. Mm, All right. So in here, if you are going to, oops. So let me just uh, make 6 buttons, and then should be inside a panel. Oops. Okay. So in here, it is also inside a panel, but this one is a group box. Okay, but group box and panel are quite similar with each other. So they have this background or back color right here, wherein you can change it. So same with yellow. So voila, you now have the same yellow background, same with this one. And then in here, if you're going to run this one, Okay, so just wait a second. So if you're going to run this one, as you guys can see, you can only choose one. Okay, but in here you can choose five pizzas at the same time. Each flavor. So for you to be able to do this one, you have multiple activated radio buttons. So they should be grouped inside another panel. Okay, so there is a panel inside a panel. So that's the logic. So if we're going to create that one right here. So let me copy this one and remove the inside radio buttons and then resize this one, and let me just transfer this three right here. So of course it's blank, so just leave it blank. So oops, move that one. Okay, so it should be something like this. All right, so if I will try this one again. So as you can see, I can now choose another radio button in here. So it's like this group of radio buttons right here is separated now from radio button 4, 5, and 6. So the one that you want to do in creating the layout for this one is just simply copy and then paste this one inside. So if you have 5 flavors of pizzas, so there should be 5 panels also with a radio button inside it. Okay, so in that case you will now be able to select uh, 5 individual pizzas at the same time. All right, so I hope I was able to clear your minds on how to make this one work. Okay, because as you guys can see, it's not really visible. You will never know that there is a panel inside of this one unless you are uh, on the editing mode, okay, of this form. So like this, it has a borderline, so that's an indicator that it has a panel inside it. But once you started the program, you will never see it because it has the same color with the back color of your bigger panel right here. All right, so I hope we are clear with this one. All right, so I guess that's the only problem on how to create this available pizzas choices right here. That will be the only issues or maybe problems that you will encounter. And for the again for the second lab, which is your lab number 8, this one is a tab page. Okay, I already discussed this one last meeting, so just check the video again on that particular meeting. Okay, so you will see on how I uh, created this one. Okay, or where did I get that one, etc., etc. Anyway, so those are the only things that I would like you guys to know regarding with your lab number 7 and 8. So any other questions so far? So if none, just give me a thumbs up so that I know that you don't have a question. And if ever that you have a question, so feel free to raise your hand or just speak right away. All right. Okay, so most of you doesn't have a question. So let's now start with the module 8. So I hope most of you already have a background, you know, and at least the basics. Even though you haven't finished the entire module 7, at least you have learned the basics on how to put some components, etc., etc. Because if you haven't checked the video tutorial of the module 7 yet, so I highly suggest that go back on that one first before uh, you know joining with our meeting today, because you will really not learn anything unless you know the basic. Anyway, So for the module 8 or the module 2 in finals, so we're going to talk about visual basic branching, or mostly is message box and input box. Okay, so for the message box, it's always, being dealt with if statement, and then case statement or switch case statement. The same with the input box. All right, so without a further delay, let's start. So what is visual basic branching? So branching statements are used to cause certain actions within a program if a certain condition is met. So the same with, like your parents telling to you that, okay, son, if you will get a grade of 95 in your math subject, I will treat you to Jollibee, something like that. Okay, so it's like there is a condition and then there's a reward. Okay, so the same with this branching statement here in Visual Basic. Okay, so for the condition, that now depends on you since you are the programmer, and then for the uh, true statement, that also depends on you since you are the programmer. You're the boss of your own program. Okay, so we only have two. Okay, for that one, for the condition, so it's either success or fail, or yes or no, or true or false. Okay, so any of those concept that you would like to call this one. But in if condition, we only have yes and then no. So if the condition is true, it will go to yes. So what will happen if it's yes, if it's true? So that now depends on your statement. Okay. So the same with on the other one. How about if it's false? What about if it's no? So what will happen? Okay. So if you put something here, let's say another statement, then that is the one that will be executed. Okay. But in here you can just leave it blank. So if it's false, then it will do nothing. Okay, just like in our example right here right now. So it doesn't have any statement, but you can add as another statement for this false condition. Okay, but for now let's start with one statement. So if it's true, then it will execute this statement. Okay, so in Visual Basic, we have this syntax right here. So all you need to remember is this if and then the yellow one that is highlighted. Okay, and then the conditional statement right here, and then the statement will now depend on you. What do you want the program to do if this condition is true? Okay, so you're going to put it right here on the statement. Okay, so for you to appreciate this one, let's have a real quick example. So in here, we have this condition. If balance is less than zero, then message box less than zero. So basically, if this is true, then it will just give you a message saying that less than zero. Okay, as simple as that. However, if this is false, then it will do nothing. Since we didn't put any false statement right here that will be executed. The only one that we put right here is the true statement. Okay. So next one, we have another condition. So if this is true, then this will be executed. Okay. If it's false, then nothing will happen. So another example right here, if this condition right here is true, then this will be executed. If it's false, then nothing will happen. Okay. So are you guys getting the idea of if statement? Hello? Is it clear so far? I'm not uh you know I'm not requiring you guys to know the syntax for now on how to put conditions, how to put statements, just at least the idea, you know, of if statement. Because in programming, you don't really need to memorize. You just need to familiarize how this concept is being done. Okay, and then one more thing, you can pretty much find in all of the programming languages this if statements. Okay, we always have this algorithm. Okay, so in some cases we just have different naming like case, switch, what else, mm, sometimes being represented by colon. The first one is true and then the second one is false, something like that. So we have a lot of different uh, syntax for if statement. Okay, so I hope we are clear with this one. Let's move on with the real example. Okay, so in here we have this sample problem number one. So write a video program that allows the user to input an integer. So if the value is greater than or equal to zero, display the message positive using a message box. So in here, let's create that one. So in here we only need three components. So a label, a text box, and then a button. So label, text box, and then a button. Okay, I'll just highlight everything and then make them bigger so that you guys can see this one clearly. We have this label one right here and then this button right here. Okay, and that I'll name this one verify, and I'll name this one input number. So if you would like to change the text of that specific component, just always look for text. Okay, so take note that text is different from name because the name itself is the name of that specific component. So it has all of our components has its unique name. So this is how you will call uh, this component in the coding area. Okay, this one right here. All right, public class, form one, and then end class. So basically, if you are going to start with this one, it will give you this fresh public class, format, and then end class. So if you have starting class, we also have an ending class. So if you will delete that one, then you will not be able to run your code, I mean your program anymore. Okay, it will give you an error, just like this. All right. So as you guys can see, the one that it ran is the previous program that was successfully running. Okay, but our current interface right now is different from the previous one. So that's an indicator that there is something wrong with your code or with your uh, UI. Okay, so that end class is very very important. Okay, you should not delete those two. Okay. All right. So in here, the one that we're going to program is this verify button right here. So that's once we click this one, it will trigger our code. So just double click, okay, this verify button, then it will lead you to this coding section again. So in here, we have the public class format and then the end class. And then we have another statement right here wherein it is the code for the button itself. Okay, so initially it will not do anything since we haven't placed anything yet. So the first thing that we need to do is declare a variable. So let's say dim x as integer. And then the one that we wanted to do is we have to put the value of this text box right here onto the variable x. So that's it's easier to declare or to call a variable. Okay, x is equal to text box. So in calling a component, okay, so it has this object icon right here. So that's an indicator that you have an object text box one on your form design. So in my case, I'll just click this one, tab, and then that text. So this is very important. This extension that text right here, that's an indicator that this is a text box. Okay, and the next thing that we wanted to do is compare. So it says here, if the value is greater than or equal to 0, then display the message positive using a box. Okay, so that's super simple. We just need if statement. So if x is greater than or equal to 0, then okay, then tab. So in here we're going to display the result inside the message box. So msg and then box. Okay, so this is also an object, but as you guys can see, it has a different color. Okay, an icon, I mean a violet icon. So that's an indicator that it is a function. Okay, it is not an object. If it's an object, the color is a blue one. Okay, but if it's a function, that is invalid. Okay, so message box, so just click tab, and then so what are we going to show if it's true? So we'll display positive. Let's make it a sentence. The result or the inputted number is positive. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this code right here. So let's check if this one will work. So if I'll put here 5, it will give as a result the inputted number is positive. If it's 0, then it's still the inputted number is positive. Okay. However, if it's -1, it doesn't do anything because we didn't put a false condition right here. So if you want to put the false condition, then you can just simply, copy this one and then paste it right here. I mean, this one is still true actually. Okay. However, you're just dealing with the other possibilities. Like for example, if it's less than or equal, I mean, less than only. Okay. Or if you want to put equal, then this one should be -1. Okay, if it's less than or equal to -1, then displayed input number is, so instead of positive, we'll display it as negative. Okay, and then Control S to save, and then, oops, sorry. So in here, you have to stop the program first before you can go back in coding this one again, and then save it, and then rerun it. Okay, you should do that method. You cannot edit your code while your program is running. Okay, so if we have 5, the inputted number is positive. If we have -1, the inputted number is negative. Okay, even though this one is, a larger number, that will still display negative result. Okay, so are you guys getting the idea so far on how to use if statement? All right, all right. So at least two of you were able to get it. Okay, I hope the others were also able to follow. So that's pretty much it for this sample problem number 1. And then for this sample problem number 2, so write a program that inputs two integer numbers. Thereafter, the program should determine if these two integer numbers are equivalent. If they are equivalent, use the message box to display the word equivalent. So in here, it's super, super simple. I'll just copy this one and then paste it right here. So the address of this one is text box 1, and then the second one is text box 2. So as you guys can see in all of our components, even though they are the same property, I mean the same kind, like text box right here and then another text box right here, they have different address or naming. Okay, so this one is text box 1, and then the other one is text box 2. This one is label 1. If I will copy this one and then paste uh, another label, this one now is label 2. Okay, but in here, I'll just edit this one, input another number. Okay, and then arrange this one, another number. Okay, and then I'll stick with verify, the word verify right here, if they are equal or no. So this is still the one that we're going to program. So instead of declaring one variable, we now have to declare two variables. So instead of x, we should declare y. And in here, we are putting the value of text box 1 to variable x. We can also do that one, but instead of text box 1, this one will become text box 2, and then this one will become variable y. Okay, and then in here, the one that we are going to compare, okay, if variable x is equal to y, then, okay, message box, close and open, and then double quotation, they are equal. Okay, so in here, it says here equivalent, but in my case, I'm just changing it to they are equal. Okay, well, you can change this one into any text that you want. All right, so let's try this one. So if I put here 1 and then 0 right here, so we expect nothing since we didn't include that algorithm in our program. But if this one is equal with another text box, so it will give us this message box. They are equal. Okay, so are we clear so far? Hello, hello. Are you guys able to follow? Okay. What about the others? Miss Danny Chris, Mr. Stanton, Miss Nova, Mr. or Miss Hanyal, Miss Hidaya, Mr. Russell, Mr. Enzo, Miss Karil, Mr. Renjon, Miss Erin or Mr. Erin. I mean, I guess that's Miss Giselle. So if ever that you guys have a question or clarification, so feel free to raise your hand or just speak right away so that we can uh, answer your concern. Anyway, so again, the only one that we're dealing here is if they are equal. Now, what if they are not equal? Then again, we can put another condition if they are not equal. So in here, we don't have the equal and then slash, okay, symbol in here in our keyboard. So the not equal symbol in here is a greater, I mean less than and then greater than. So if we have this combination of less than and greater than, this one symbolizes not equal. So I guess I did mention this one in module 7. So in here, they are not equal. Okay, so 5 is they're equal. 5 6 is they are not equal. Okay, -5, so they are not equal. Okay, so as simple as that for the second example. And then for the third example, so sample problem number 3, the ABC Manufacturing Company plans to give a year-end bonus to each of its employees. So write a program that will compute the bonus of an employee by considering the following criteria. So we have two criteria. If the employee's monthly salary is less than 10,000, the bonus is 25% of the salary. Okay, so if it's 10,000, then 25% of it is 2,500. Then if it's let's say 9,000. So just get the 0.25 of that one. Then the bonus of that employee is 2,250. Okay. So if it's let's say 5,000, the 25% of that one is 1,250. Okay. However, if it's if he has 10,000 and above, okay, salary, he will receive a fixed bonus, which is 2,500. So even though his salary is 20,000, 30,000, 1 billion, he will still receive 2,500 pesos. Okay. So the question right here is determine and display the bonus of an employee. So I expect two results on this one. So this sample problem number 3 is actually your quiz number. How many quiz do you have ready? So quiz number 1 and 2. This will serve as your quiz number 3. Okay, third quiz sample problem number 3. Okay, so I haven't published this one yet. I will also change the points of this one. I'll make it into 50 points maybe. So yeah, and again, I expect one input and then two outputs. Okay, so let me just give you guys a brief idea. So this is the where you're going to put the salary, and then the first output is the computed salary bonus, and then the third one is the second output, in which it is now the total salary that he's going to receive. So his current salary plus his bonus is equal to this one. Okay, so uh, employees salary. Okay, that's it for this one. And then for the next one, employees bonus. Employees computed bonus salary. Okay, so this will be the layout of your quiz number three. And then for the last one, so this is now the total computed employee salary. Okay, so something like that. Okay, well, you can change the the labels if you want, as long as we have this one input and then two outputs right here. Okay, so are we clear so far? This is your quiz number three. So you are now the one who's going to create the algorithm and then the program of this quiz right here. Okay, so are we clear so far? Okay, what about the others? Do you guys have a question regarding with your quiz number three? Okay, good, good, good. So again, if you have a question, so feel free to raise your hand. All right. So for the sample problem number four, this will serve as your quiz number four. So this one is very simple. So write a program that will allow user to input an integer and determine and display if the integer entered is an even number. Okay. So if it's even, then I should see a message box. I mean a message inside the message box saying that it's even number. If it's odd, then it will display nothing. Okay. So that's the only requirement for this sample problem number four. Unless I did include the odd number right here on my instruction. No. Okay. So just the even number. If it's odd, then it will show nothing. Okay. So that is your fourth quiz. Okay. So just wait for my announcement once I publish this one because I have to do some changes with the points and then the deadline. All right. For the sample problem number five, so in temperature countries like Japan, there are four seasons. So April to June is spring, July to September is summer, October to December is autumn, and January to March is winter. So we wish to write a program that allows the user to select a date using datetime picker. The output of the program is the season associated with that month and a picture of the season. So we have this sample pictures right here, wherein saying that if you have April to June, we have 4 to 6 when it comes to numbers in month, and then we have this picture right here. July to September is this picture right here. October to December is this picture right here, and then January to March is winter, and then this picture right here. So in my case, I created a different one, okay? Because I don't want this picture. I don't want this picture. Well, I like this one, but I also don't like this picture for the winter. Okay, so here's the sample code for this program. So here's the sample output, actually, the datetime picker, the label, and then the picture box. So we only need three components for this one, okay? But later on, I will show to you guys the working program, this one. So yeah, that we will later since I don't we don't have enough time anymore. Okay, so we'll just continue the rest. Okay, showing you guys the working program of this sample problem number five. So for now, uh, goodbye and then see you guys on part two.